Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back after 3 weeks away. The Shadow Kvlt is here. Join us.
And I've gone Hollywood.
Yes, you have.
Again!
He's had a makeover. He's got a glow up.
But anyways, yes, the gang's all here minus Walter, but myself, Ricky, Scott, and James are here, and hope you all had a good Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and all holidays around.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, basically my holidays was interesting, to say the least. Because the day before Christmas Eve, it was 0 with a negative 20 wind chill, and...
It was colder up here. It was 0 with a minus 30 loss. Holy crap.
And then 3 days later, it's 60 degrees.
And everyone's sick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. We're at 40 degrees this week. Rain.
Yeah, same here.
Trying to do a 31-day video series when you have a sore fucking throat, that ain't easy.
Wow.
I've been there, trust me, when I was doing my 31 days of-
trying to do mass recordings while on cough medicine and stuff, very interesting, but I did it.
Trust me, when I was doing my 31 days of horror, at the very end, I was getting sick, so I was like, I'm almost there, just go through it, you're almost done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like my last 5 or so uploads. Which, by the way, I'm in 1080p now.
Hey, nice.
Hey.
Even better.
That's impressive. But can you do this?
I just did.
Yeah, see? Yeah. He can take a
What
bump
did
in
you
his
just
chair,
say?
folks.
But anyways,
Yeah.
yes, tonight we begin.
And I do have my big bragging gift on the floor behind me, which if you have my Instagram, my Twitter, you've seen what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And Ricky's got his too. I know he's got
Yes.
But, so we are kicking off the new year with Royal Rumble and Raw season because, well, it's Royal Rumble time and 30 years of Monday Night Raw. Good
Raw
God.
is triple X.
X.
Don't Google it. Don't Google it.
Oh my God.
Or Google it if you're a sick
one.
fucker.
Go ahead. Yeah, actually, Bing is better. So Bing it there.
Bing is better because you can get rewards and coupons and shit.
Sure, whatever. But yeah,
Bing! Ha-ha!
Bing bong.
That was heterosexual.
Bing bong! Hello!
Hello!
I don't get what's all the fuss about. It's a bing bong! Hello!
Anyway, what's our subject tonight?
Ass.
So tonight,
gaping ass.
So like I said, we are alternating Royal Rumble and Raw subjects. So tonight's the Royal Rumble subject, then it's Raw next week, then Rumble, then Raw, case closed. But tonight we are talking WWF Royal Rumble 1993, which took place from the Arco Arena in Sacramento, California, with an attendance of 16,000 sellout, all paid, with a live gate of $187,000 and pay-per-view buys of $175,000. So when you look at next to Royal Rumble 92, all metrics were lower than 92 by quite a bit, a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, as far as compared to the other shows of 93, the attendance second highest behind SummerSlam, Livegate right in the middle with WrestleMania 9 the highest, King of the Ring the lowest, but the pay-per-view buys were the lowest of 1993 as a whole. So, yeah, this is the beginning of the wrestling recession. So
Hey, we're in the middle of it at this. We're right in there because... But what we are also at the beginning of, this was the first pay-per-view of the Monday Night Raw era. Raw had just started a couple of weeks earlier. The next night was the third episode.
Yep. But, yeah, so to give an overall synopsis on this show, the show itself, it's good show, but
one of the better shows
near
of 93.
Honestly, it's between this and King of the Ring for the best WWF pay-per-view of 93. I'd probably still give the edge to King of the Ring by a bit, but this is still a good show, just not a great show. And we'll get on to that right now. So we kick things off with a tag team match. We have the Beverly Brothers.
Them too.
My tongue twisted right there. Beverly Brothers of Bo and Blake Beverly versus the Steiner Brothers.
So the brothers versus the brothers and the brothers?
With the brothers of the brothers of the brothers, the brothers.
You have
Safe
real
to say-
brothers versus fake brothers.
Yeah, basically I had a brother blunder.
Say that 5 times fast.
Brother blunder, brother blunder, brother blunder, brother blunder. There you go.
Dude, Nick Patrick counts faster than that.
The Briscoe brothers and the Blanchard brothers and the Briscoe brothers again, and
The
I
Malenko
can't-
brothers.
I can't go too fast for that. My brain's too quick for
and
it.
the Guerrero brothers.
Hart brothers.
Your
But
mother's
anyways,
brothers. Your mother's brothers' druthers. If you smother in your mother's druthers, are your brothers ever brothers?
Now to the opening match.
so the match itself, solid tag team
Good
match
match.
to get
Good tag
going.
match. It's a solid tag match, yes. How funny is it that we have 2 second-generation wrestlers in NXT now from this match?
Yep.
Wayne Bloom's son and Rick Steiner's son. Both in NXT. How crazy is that? Von Wagner and Braun.
That is very, very weird. But yeah, the match itself, solid opener for what it was to get the crowd going, and cool finish with the Frankensteiner from Scott, as after the Frankensteiner, the Steiner brothers defeated the Beverly brothers in 10 minutes, 34 seconds.
Crowd pops on every big move the Steiners do. Every suplex, everything. The crowd is. This is the right match to start the show.
You know something's good when Bobby Heenan gives a babyface credit.
That's
like,
true. Yep. Mm-hmm.
He never gives any baby faces any credit, but he'll give credit to the Steiners.
And the referee for this match, Bill Alfonso. Right down the middle, baby.
God damn it.
But moving on to match number 2, the first of 2 championship matches of the night for the WWF Intercontinental Championship. Champion Shawn Michaels versus challenger Marty Jannetty. So 1 year in the making, we finally
Hype
get the
package.
one-on-one match.
Mm-hmm.
And a hype
We get a
package
hype
for
package
this.
in 93, which you never got.
Yeah, because like I said, a year in the making after the split of the Rockers the year prior with the fucking barbershop glass window. Marty tried diving through the window to escape. The coward.
The greatest line.
And then, of course, stuff got delayed a little bit because Marty was placed under house arrest for being an idiot.
Yeah.
But then one of the best returns when he came back and Sean's doing the whole mirror gimmick and he's standing right behind him and you get him in the mirror. It's like,
Yeah.
and then Sherry takes the mirror right in the face, got a little glass in her eye, shoot.
Damn. I know Sherry was used to taking stuff in the face, but goddamn.
But speaking of, we had the return of Sensational Sherry as the person in the middle. Whose side is she on?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then we get them.
Side is she on?
But we get the match itself. Great match
Good
between
match.
these two.
Yep.
Granted, not
Yeah,
nearly
great.
as great as the matches they would have in May and July on Raw, but still a great match between these two.
Yep.
And the
Finish
story.
Finish is a little wonky, but it's there.
Yeah.
It was necessary
But the
for end.
story's all about Sherry and Sean working Marty's shoulder the whole time.
Which actually comes into the next night on Raw. We'll get to that after the result of this match.
Right.
Yeah. But these two going at back and forth, crowd really into it, and also keep an eye on Sherry and Bobby trying to do she's crying tears of joy. Will you be serious?
That is the great thing about watching these old pay-per-views. You get all the classic Gorilla Monsoon's lines. Stick a fork in them. Oh, wow, look at that. Glad I retired.
This place has gone bananas.
Bananas. Oh, would you stop? You have a rifle.
This would be the final pay-per-view of Gorilla and Bobby as a team.
That's right.
Yep.
Bobby would be gone pretty soon.
Yeah. But yeah, and then we get to the finish. So after Sherry turns babyface, slaps Shawn in the face, and then get in the ring, Marty hit a super kick of his own on Shawn. Sherry gets in to take her heel off, ready to hit Shawn. She goes to hit. Shawn ducks, hits Marty instead, and then Shawn cornering
Bobby's
Sherry.
begging Shawn to hit her.
Yeah, the bimbo. And then after that happens, Shawn hits Sweet Chin Music, though it's not called Sweet Chin Music yet.
It was just the patented side super kick.
Yeah. But after the super kick, 1, 2, 3, Shawn Michaels defeats Marty Jannetty in 14 minutes, 20 seconds to retain the Intercontinental Championship.
Now, it wasn't at Raw because Raw was taped the next night. It was during a TV taping the following day. Shawn got Marty fired for falling asleep backstage and basically said, "Oh, Marty's drunk, and got him fired because of how Marty was selling during this match.
Yeah. And that's the guy who runs NXT now, folks.
Yeah. I mean, talk about a guy who sold for Hulk Hogan.
Now, see, that was funny, though.
Apples and oranges, people here. Apples and oranges.
Yeah, Shawn today versus Shawn back then, it's like two different people. So
Oh, yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's
I don't
crazy to
drink.
think.
I don't smoke. I don't do drugs
Anymore.
Yeah.
And he's like, point taken.
Mandy, yeah, I'm sorry, we have to let you go. Why? Because the material you're putting out on the website. Really? Like your Playgirl spread? Well, I was a different kid back then. Oh, okay, sorry. Oh,
Which,
guess
by the
what?
way...
Shawn, I just looked down my pants. You know what I found? Your smile.
Which, by the way, Mandy Rose, millionaire last month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She is now a
Ooh,
self-made millionaire.
That's right.
Self-made millionaire with some content, and if you don't know what it is, check it out. It may make you a little happy.
Mm-hmm. Get a happy
Yeah,
ending.
you might, if you're watching, you sneeze too hard, something white might be painted onto your walls.
And from the corner,
But you have to go out there and do the job. Don't worry, Shawn. I'll actually do it.
there you go.
Another satisfied customer.
But anyway, so moving on from there, we get into the middle match of the night. Bam Bam Bigelow versus Big Boss Man. Now, on paper, I thought this would have been a very good big man match.
Well,
but
it did its job.
to get
Because
Bam Bam
Boss
over.
Man, because Boss Man was on his way out, Bam Bam was just coming back. You wanted to reestablish Bam Bam, beat an established guy in Boss Man.
Right. And
Yeah, but
and for all intents and purposes, context of the time, the crowd's into this match.
The crowd's into a lot on this night.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
was it bad at the time?
I'm not
No.
saying it was a bad match. I
it's
just
not
felt
something
it
that-
was it was just meh to me. Like on paper, this should have been like a very good match, given what we know about Bam Bam and Ray. I would have thought this would have been one of the best big man matches I would ever see, but it was just there.
Ultimately, the match did its job, and that's all you can ask.
If it
What's the
was
job? Establish Bam Bam.
True.
If it was
But
7
I want to
years
see more,
earlier,
damn it.
if it was 7 years earlier, Bill Watts would have had this as a main event.
Yeah.
Because there was that program of Big Bubba Rogers and the one-man gang over the UWF World Championship. And that was because Bubba was his first champion, and one-man gang was the one that took it from him. So those two guys were a main event angle for Bill Watts' UWF. This match would have been right there in that same spot, if you think about it, back in that time frame.
Yeah. But in the end, Bam Bam with the diving headbutt on Boss Man for the win, as Bam Bam Bigelow defeated Big Boss Man in 10 minutes, 10 seconds. Now we're on to the penultimate match of the night, match 4 in the second and final championship match of the pay-per-view.
Great thing about these early Rumbles is they're only like 5 matches.
Yep, for the WWF Championship. Champion Bret Hart versus challenger Razor Ramon. Now, Bret's in the middle of his title reign when he beat Flair back in October 92 to get the belt. And, well, apart from the match at Survivor Series with Shawn, just random opponents left and right.
Okay, he beat Virgil. He beat Papa Shango. He's beaten a killer's row of people.
Now you're just playing. Now you're going too hard.
That's what she said.
That's right.
I mean, quite frankly,
Intentional.
Bray's first reign, not the best, not the worst. But you gotta
be fair, look the context of the time.
Oh yeah,
They didn't have the strongest roster because everybody was leaving or had already left.
Or had
which is why, if you believe the rumor, Rumble 93 was supposed to be Bret versus Warrior. If Warrior would have stayed. In fact, the poster for the Royal Rumble had Warrior on it, and Warrior was gone. It also had Nails on it, and Nails was gone.
Why?
Who's the boss now, Vince?
Nails, nailed it.
The convict.
But at least for a pay-per-view, we get an actual opponent for Bret.
Yes.
Not just a throwaway guy, and it's Razor Ramon.
Are you calling Shawn throwaway?
No, I'm calling Virgil and Shango throwaway. There you go.
Virgil beat Ted DiBiase, damn it! Papa Shango made Warrior throw up.
Virgil wins a meaningless belt. Shango Warrior was stupid. There you go. Anyways. But
I miss this shit so much.
Tell me how you really feel about it.
Huh? No, man, come on. Don't hold back.
But anyways, though, match itself, another great match on this show, and
solid match.
Yeah, I love this match. Like early Razor Ramon as a heel, really good shit. You know, he and Flair together for that short period of time heading into Survivor Series, and then we get to this match, and great psychology once again between these two. You know, David versus Goliath story. What more could you want out of that?
There's also a personal aspect to it because in the build-up, Razor beat up Owen.
Yes.
One of the first times they actually acknowledged Bret and Owen were brothers.
Yeah, and that would become a bigger deal later in the year, as we all know. But then, to the end, sharpshooter from Bret for the win, as Bret Hart defeated Razor Ramon in 17 minutes 52 seconds to retain the WWF Championship. And
they were really getting that move over. Because he was beating everybody with the sharpshooter.
Beat Flair to get the belt with it. So there you go.
Beat Shawn, beat Razor, beat everybody. It's like, yeah, the fightingest WWF champion of all time.
But now on to the main event, the big match, the 30-man Royal Rumble match. So the entry list in order of entrance.
Well, also before you get to that, this was the first time the winner got to go to WrestleMania to challenge the champion.
Yep.
Officially. Because, you had 91, but it wasn't acknowledged that way. And then in 92 for the belt. So, officially, this was the first
It's
Rumble.
like 93, they had to do something because you have something on the line the year before. Okay, what now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it made sense having the winner of the Rumble challenge the champion.
Right.
Yeah. And after all, it's been this way ever since minus 2016.
But 30 years going.
But the entry list in order of appearance. Ric Flair, Bob Backlund, Papa Shango, Ted DiBiase, Brian Knobbs, Virgil, Jerry Lawler, Max Moon?
Fucking killer row.
Shinichiro Tenryu, Mr. Perfect, Skinner, Coco Beware, Samu, The Berserker, The Undertaker, Terry Taylor, Damian Demento, Erwin R. Shyster, Tatanka, Jerry Sags, Typhoon, Fatu, Earthquake, Carlos Cologne, I blame you, Miz and Morrison, Tito Santana, Rick Martel, Yokozuna, Owen Hart, Repo Man, and Macho Man Randy Savage. So yeah.
So only 5 of you have a chance of winning this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skinner, Tatanka, the Head Shrinkers, and Repo Man.
Berserker.
Okay.
He's bigger. He's got the
fucking killers. And it's his match. He throws people over the top rope.
On the top rope to win. That was why he was winning match.
He won a 40-man battle royal.
That's right.
The prior year, so he should have been an odds-on favorite. So yeah,
tried to stab the Undertaker in the middle of the ring.
So it's like, yeah, Flair, Perfect, Undertaker, Savage, Yoko, Berserker.
Nah, yeah, there you go.
One of those 6 are going.
One of these things is not like the other.
One of these things doesn't
belong here.
And let's not forget the big, tall, what the fuck elephant in the room.
Yes. Surprise of
Giant Gonzalez.
He's 20, 30 feet tall. Actually, he's only 8 feet tall. Now, actually, he's only 7'7".
Well, actually, he's 3'7" times 5. But anyway, so
this was Harvey Whippleman's bomb he promised to drop on The Undertaker because he blames The Undertaker for losing Kamala.
Yeah.
You cost me my Ugandan giant, well, I'm gonna drop a bomb on you. And the bomb he drops is El Gigante in a furry Yeti outfit.
God damn it, who the fuck thought that was gonna be a good idea?
I love it.
And on top of that, to make matters worse, one of the reasons Mark left WCW was because he was going to be forced to work with El Gigante. And wouldn't you know who won the pony in the end?
That's right.
And this is something he always gave Vince shit about. It's like, you made me work with Giant Gonzalez.
Only forever.
Yeah.
And once Gonzalez eliminated Undertaker and Gonzalez left, and then Taker eventually sat up and left, this match died a fucking death.
Yep.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Because it started off solid, and, starting off with Flair and Backlund.
Yep.
That's a hell of a top two.
Yeah.
NWA champion and a former WWF champion.
I mentioned earlier, at one point in the match, in one ring, you have a former WWF champion in Backlund, former NWA World Champion in Ric Flair, former AWA World Champion in Mr. Perfect, and a former unified AWA World Class Champion in Jerry Lawler. And technically, you have Tenryu in there too, who's a former All Japan Triple Crown champion. Whether he was in there at the same time the other guys, I don't remember, but he was there.
He was.
Because Tenryu was chopping Flair.
Yes.
But
Chopping Undertaker and Tucker doesn't really have to sell it. That's weird. That's very weird to have Tenryu chop you and you can't sell it like you would if you were in the middle of the Tokyo Dome and he chopped you there. You jumped up to the 5th row. But you're taking.
But speaking of Taker, during his entrance, Lawler, he's been eliminated, and then when he sees Undertaker, he just steps aside.
Yeah. Hey, I know you.
Did you beat me to become unified champion once? If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
But yeah, it's like the first half of the Rumble, okay. Well, the first 10 entrants was solid for what it was. But yeah, after the Gonzalez deal, the match was completely and utterly fucked. Hence why I would say that this Rumble match is a bottom 10 Rumble match.
Pinfalls don't count.
Well, we'll get to the end because we get the final 4 of Backlund, Martel, Savage, and Yoko. Backlund eliminates Martel. Backlund was in there for over 60 minutes. He broke Flair's record, and it's a record that stood for over a decade.
Would stand until Benoit 04.
And then Yoko eliminates Backlund. Savage tries to make his comeback. He gets Yoko off his feet, and then elbow, and then instinct. That might have been an audible that might have been an audible to do that because you could look at Yoko. Even at this point in 93, he was fucking gassed.
Mm-hmm.
He had only been in there like 5 minutes, and it's like...
He was already shot.
So it's like, once he fell, it's like, pin me, I'll throw you out.
Mhm.
And that's 2 years in a row, Savage is a fucking idiot in the Rumble. Actually, 3 years in a row, because 91 he no-shows, 92 he eliminates himself, and then 93 he does the pinfall.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder if it wasn't audible, maybe they planned that for Savage just to make him look stupid, just to say, hey, you remember what happened last year, right?
Oh, would Savage agree to make himself look stupid?
True. But still. But it's just funny looking back.
Yes, he would. If it's for the right cause,
like this.
to make someone look, to put someone over like that, yes, he would.
And Yoko gets the win, which was the right call.
Yeah. Okay, look at the last four. Who else?
Who really was going to win it?
Some people will argue Savage.
Yeah, but no.
No.
Not at that point.
You couldn't have gotten away with a babyface match at Mania 9. Unless you would have had Savage play the heel in the match. Which he
probably could have.
Mm-hmm.
But...
I mean, at the time, you're not thinking about it, but in context now, what we know about the business, looking at it then, Savage is on his way out soon. This is his time to put other people over, and just, start doing the honors. Anytime you enter a territory, people put you over. When you leave, you put them over on the way out. That's kind of what Vince was trying to do with him on a subtle level, maybe trying to give him a little hint like, Randy, I think you're done, pal. But Randy was not. Not even history would show. He was not even close being done.
It's funny. He was like 40 at the time. It's like, yeah, you're too old. But it's like, yeah.
I got you for 3 minutes. 8 minutes of playtime.
That's right.
But yeah, in the end, Yokozuna last eliminating Randy Savage to win the 1993 Royal Rumble match.
At number 27, the second man to win it at that number.
Yep.
And you had the Roman music play in the background.
Yeah. You noticed that
too? They were advertising Caesar's Palace.
Mm-hmm.
But strangely, that music kind of fit Yoko.
It did.
A little bit,
yeah.
Weird, yeah.
That could have been his theme, and it wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But it is weird. Like, you know what Yoko's theme is, then you watch this and you hear that, and it's like, what the fuck's that?
Let's hear that little flute.
Yep.
And then you have the still images highlighting the show, and then the confrontation between Bret and Yoko. WrestleMania 9.
And one thing we completely forgot to mention about this show, the debut of the narcissist Lex Luger right before the match.
Yeah. Bobby's whole thing was he wanted somebody beyond perfection because this was after Perfect left him. So now they advertised Narcissus.
Yep.
Who is it?
It's
just Narcissus. And then we find out it's the narcissist Lex Luger. Mm-hmm. And he's basically having an orgasm.
Right. And this is also close to the time of WBF. Am I not?
This was after
that, yeah.
Because Luger was supposed to be a guest poser because Luger left WCW to do the WBF thing. He was hosting the show. He was going to be a guest poser. Then he had his accident, and pretty much they shut it down right afterwards.
He got screwed, and then they got rid of it. So it's like,
and then he was
this guy.
And it's hard when you look at Luger here. It's hard to believe that just 6 months earlier he had a motorcycle accident.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all natural.
But anyway, so that is, Royal Rumble 93. So like I said, good show, but far from a great show. It's just the big thing that drags this show down is the Rumble match itself not being that good. But then again, when you got the list of guys in the match...
Maximilian Moon.
Yeah.
Like, Tatanka.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, come on. Tatanka was good for the time.
Now you're the one defending somebody. Tatanka. Brett. WrestleMania 9.
Tatanka and his huge penis.
If you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But now on to favorite, least favorite, sleeper, and shocker of the night. Favorite, for me, is going to be Brad and Razor. Then least favorite, the Rumble match itself. Sleeper?
The opening tag.
The opening tag.
Yeah, the opening tag match. And then the shocker?
Giant Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonzalez.
Yeah.
For me personally, a little different though. My favorite actually is the tag match, the opening tag match. I just think it's off the charts amazing for that time frame to see those two tag teams do what they did with each other. And because Brett and Razor, good match, but I feel like I've seen every Brett match at this point. It's like rinse and repeat. So it was kind of like, it was good, but it's the same thing he does all the time. Least favorite was the Rumble match too. Sleeper, I would give it actually to Sean and Marty, and then shocker would be Gonzalez just sucking the air out of the building.
Push Job Endeavor? Oh God. I know that smirk.
No, I'm not going to do a serious one.
Gonzalez, Berserker, and...
Close. You got one. Berserker, Virgil, Max Moon.
you push Berserker.
Push Berserker,
Job
Virgil, and release Max Moon.
Endeavor Max Moon.
And you job Virgil.
Job Virgil, yeah.
You want to push Max Moon for the kids?
No.
Come on, man.
Berserker had a fucking...
I gotta push Berserker.
He had a sword.
He fucking nearly killed The Undertaker.
So you're gonna push that?
Yes!
As a heel. As a heel.
No.
Why would you not book John Nord as one of the top heels? He is one of those Minnesota boys with the Road Warriors and Kurt Hennig and Rick Rude and Repo Man, who's actually Barry Darso.
Okay, here we go. We got the formation of a new faction, the Minnesota Wrecking Crew Part 5. Barry Darsaw is the figurehead. You put the Beverly Brothers in there because they're both Minnesota guys, Wayne Bloom and Mike Enos. You put the Berserker in there, John Nord in there too. And backing them up has to be perfect because he's Minnesota. So there's your new Minnesota Wrecking Crew right there.
Oh my gosh. And real quick earlier, Zach, who's finally in the chat for once after a while, he writes, breaking news, Brett still hates Goldberg. And on the Twitch chat, the Buttspot decided to say, breaking news, Brett still hates Buttberg. Damn you, Buttspot, I swear to God. But, so let's talk about the past few weeks in wrestling. Well,
wow.
Talk about the last couple of days in wrestling.
Let's get the big one out of the way, and I want to start this off myself. Vince McMahon back in WWE. Board of directors, people. He's not back in creative, so calm down.
Calm your tits, people.
Yes,
I digress.
Chill the F. He's just there to negotiate the media deal and the sale of the company. This is nothing new. We all knew this was still
did kind of force himself in there.
And that happens all the time. This is nothing new. When you have majority stock interest in any company, you have every fucking right to do that, and it happens a lot.
80%. Okay. He owns 80% of the shareholders.
Think of how many millions of shares are out there. It's public now. You know, he owns almost 30 million shares of the stock. So usually when a stock is issued, there's maybe 100 million shares that are issued. Of that 100 million, a small percentage, 10 to 15, is out for the public to buy. The rest of it is privately owned. It's part of stock options, 401k plans, retirement plans that is owned by the employees. The board of directors, the CEOs of the companies, the big ups, they're going to have a big wad of that. And then various other companies own big chunks of it too. So he has 30 million almost shares of the company, and he has all right and privilege to do that stuff. And like I said, it happens all the time. It happens in every big major company out there where he goes away, comes back, goes away, comes back. Paul is still there. He's in charge of creative. Stephanie is still there. Nick Khan's still there. 2 people were booted, so Vince could bring in 2 people that were on the board back in 2020. They were dumped to create their own investment firm. Wink, wink. To bring them back into the board of directors to help negotiate that deal even more. Now, Ricky, I know, has a list of potential buyers for WWE. We can get into that now.
Yeah, so the list of potential buyers, like I said, this is not the concrete list, but the most ones that I've seen so far. So here are like maybe 11 ones. So at the very top, we have Comcast, NBC Universal, which is probably the most likely. That might be the buyer. We have Fox, we have Disney, Paramount Plus, Warner Brothers / Discovery, Netflix, Amazon, Bing, Liberty Media, Endeavor Group Holdings, and the most one that's kind of could actually happen, but you never know, the Saudi Arabian government.
That's the sexiest one to talk about. So that's why it's getting a lot of press.
Yeah.
So, but it's always been, I think, down to NBC, Universal, Comcast, or Disney. One of those. Paramount Plus probably could sneak in there too. Netflix ain't gonna get it. Amazon ain't gonna get it.
No.
You know, it's
For chaos sake, Warner Brothers Discovery.
Right.
Just for what the hell would happen? Because for those who may not know, Warner Brothers Discovery on their networks is another wrestling company.
Wink, wink.
And let's just say in a hypothetical situation, they were to buy WWE, AEW would get the boot.
Yeah.
Tony Khan, Nick Khan.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, so everyone, deal with your madness. Vince is just back.
Yeah, but
just in a capacity as being
and legally, that's all he can do. Because if he tries anything else, the SEC will be after him.
Yep.
And those are people you don't want to fuck with.
No, you don't.
No,
and as I've said this too. It's like, okay, folks, when we're coming down to negotiations, this is multi-billion-dollars here. And
reportedly, it's going to be about $10 billion.
This is
for the sale.
Thousands of people's livelihoods, okay? Thousands of people employed by this company. Okay, it's not just the wrestlers. You must remember that. It's the crew, production team. It's all the people that work in the new Titan Towers that's being made. All the
marketing, you name it.
Marketing. Yes, global. This is a global company here. Okay, a lot of wrestling fans out there, neckbeards and all. You need to expand your minds here. This is a lot bigger than you think it is. Thousands of people's livelihoods, billions of dollars at stake here. Who else do you want negotiating this deal?
The guy.
Love Stephanie. A lot of respect to Stephanie. She doesn't do that stuff. That's not her forte. That's not been her thing. Paul, love him to death. He's not a negotiator. Okay. So how did he negotiate with WWE? He banged the boss's daughter. Okay. You can't do that with every company. I know people want to try that. You can't. But that's it. That's all he has. So Vince is the only guy that you can conceivably say he has to be there to negotiate this deal for the legacy of the McMahons, his family, and everything else after that.
Yeah.
And there's also talks that if there is a sale, WWE is going to go back private.
It could definitely do that.
It could happen.
Yep. Because when you're public, your number one priority is to your stockholders. And how do you do that? You have to raise profits. How do you do that? You fire people. You have to increase your expansion around the world. You have to do all the things that WWE has been doing. So now that because they're playing with other people's money. That was a movie in the 80s with Danny DeVito, other people's money. So it's once you do that, you are beholden to them. Hence why we have the PG era. Okay?
Yeah.
They go private, you could see anything at that point from WWE. You could see what you see on AEW programming with, a lot more red stuff flowing. Incidentally, this I think has just come out on YouTube. Renee Paquette's interview with Bryan Danielson at StarCast. It's only like an hour long. Check it out. It's very intriguing to find out some reasons why Bryan left WWE to go to AEW, and one was, on a subtle level, that was one of the many reasons why he left.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how's that working out?
Yeah.
But yeah, bottom line, calm down. Vince isn't in charge of creative. He's just negotiating the
Just
sale.
there.
Triple H is still in charge of booking, so get over it.
And that was one of the agreements of him coming back to the board.
Yeah, he doesn't fuck with what's happening. He trusts the management team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, folks. I don't trust rich white men either, okay? But, in this case, I understand the long game here is important, so.
Yeah, especially
TV
now.
rights deal, which is going to be huge.
Yeah, especially right now since I think they hired somebody from JP Morgan to start
to
evaluating.
negotiate the sale.
Yeah, so
And that's always what happens. There'll be a syndicator, they're an underwriter that gets involved.
yeah, so most likely the sale might happen
Probably happen this year.
This year, probably
by the summer.
Mm-hmm.
By the summer, about June, July-ish.
When's the Fox deal up? Next year?
Next year, but they're going to be negotiating.
Yeah.
All right. So, this mark it right here. Sale's going to happen this year.
Probably by the summer.
Yep. So everything is in line to go for next year's deals. However, they're going to set up with USA, Fox, or a
But
whole
you really
different
think $10
situation.
billion is a lot of money?
Yeah, but look at the companies that are interested in buying it. They've got the money.
Right.
True. They can spend that money.
Mm-hmm. Elon Musk paid $44 billion for Twitter, and look what he did to that. And then look what happened to Tesla stock, for fuck's sake. So, I mean, I'm just saying, just look at the numbers. That's nothing. Nowadays, I mean, this is 30 years ago, 1993. This didn't happen for that many billions of dollars. You talk millions of dollars, but not billions. Now, 10 billion here, 10 billion there. Pretty soon we'll talk about real money.
Yeah. But away from the Vince stuff, let's talk about FTR. They have now lost all the belts. So that brings up the question, are they officially going to be WWE bound? And I say, fuck yes.
Yep, they're doing the honors. What Scott was talking about earlier, doing the honors on your way out.
Once they drop the ROH tag battles to the Briscoes, I was like, we start watching these guys. If they drop one more, we know what's happening.
And they drop the AAA belts.
Yeah.
And they drop, and then it's like, I'm like, they're gonna drop the IWGP belts January 4th, and sure shit.
Farewell tour.
Sure, they drop them.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of New Japan, the debuting of Mercedes Moné, which, let's be honest, we all knew was gonna happen.
One of the worst kept secrets ever.
Oh, yeah. And they acknowledge that on the commentary for when she comes out. So worst kept secret, she's been released by WWE, and now she's here and all that stuff. Yeah.
That botch, though.
The botch is one thing, the outfit, the hair, I don't get it. It's just
She
me.
wanted
I don't
more
get it.
Sailor Moon-esque. That's what I saw from it.
She's a huge fan of
Anime.
Asian culture, anime, K-pop, and J-pop, and all that stuff. That's her. She loves that stuff. And getting to perform in New Japan for her is a dream come true. Good on her for that. It was kind of like, oh.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I didn't watch the show,
All right,
but
cool.
I saw the debut, and I
See
was
the
like,
clips.
whatever.
Yeah. It's
Alright,
kind of
cool.
like...
It's not a
I'll-
big deal, people.
It's not a game changer.
I mean,
No.
honestly, I wanted to stay late to watch it, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna go to sleep. And then the next thing, I wake up, Sasha Banks debuts, which I was like, kind of figured.
And then, of course, there's also talks now. She's not going to be a part of AEW because she doesn't want to commit long term.
That's back and forth now too. She just finished a movie, I think. So she's got a lot of irons in the fire these days. She is at every freaking Disney opening for any movie for Disney. She's there. She's on the red carpet. She was on like TV for like the dance show, the celebrity dance show. There, she was in the audience for that because friends with friends and friends. So she is working her way into Hollywood, getting a lot more opportunities. New Japan, it's a side bitch. It's a little side way to make money.
They've already signed her and Kyrie for the women's belt.
In February.
Yeah, February. Yeah, February.
That's going to happen. We saw that was going to happen anyway. And it's just, like I said, it's a side bitch. She gets to make some money there. Awesome. Good for her. Everyone should be happy for her for that. Yes, as James said, it's not a game changer. Okay, cool. She's there. That's nice.
Yeah.
Even if she went to AEW, okay, you get 1 rating.
Big deal.
If that, because this past Wednesday, 850,000.
Mm-hmm. And that's consistently like right around where it usually is anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, is Sasha really going to pop it any higher?
No.
Be honest with yourself out there.
No.
So it's like, and plus, let's also be honest. Here's Sasha. Here's the rest of the AEW women's locker room here.
You're being generous.
I know I'm being very generous. But it's like, I'm grading out a curve here.
Your hands don't go higher or lower.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like everyone here, even Saraya, no. If any indication the last couple weeks, any indication, she's nowhere near this. So yeah, that would be a step down for Sasha. She could not elevate that entire roster if she wanted to. It's just not possible.
And we've talked about before, given Sasha's reputation, it would have led to another CM Punk incident where Tony would have given her all the money she wants, and then the rest of the roster would have been talking to Tony like, where's our pay up?
Where's ours? And I want to clarify too, this thing that I'm talking about, this has nothing to do with the talent here. Okay, they're all hardworking people. They bust their ass every single week to get better. There's no one in the women's locker room of any company nowadays that's lazy. All right, this is not happens. It's just don't trust the creative process. Tony Khan does not know how to get here to here to get these girls on that same level as Sasha. He does not know how to do it.
I'm just imagining how much New Japan must have paid her.
Paying per appearance.
Right, yeah. It's per diem. Kind of like that.
Yeah,
deal.
I mean, somebody gotta check the Yakuza. How much they were,
yeah. Legitimate businessman, thank you.
We sell puppies. Puppies for sale.
Let's
semi-automatic puppies.
Nice. Now let's stay in the same country, but let's maneuver over to another promotion, Noah, with the final match of the Great Muta against
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Great match, and a fucking brilliant finish. Whoever came up with that finish, I cheers. Oh. Just the idea of a man sucking the venom out of his face to use it against him. And clean pin, technically, even with the mist and the Kinshasa, 1, 2, 3, right in the middle of the ring. And then Muta did do a 6-man tag match, I believe, at Wrestle Kingdom, or will be doing a 6-man tag at Wrestle Kingdom. As I guess his one's and only final match.
See, I've also been seeing a lot of people predict that maybe WWE Hall of Fame as kind of the exchange.
Yeah,
maybe. Which would be
wouldn't it be a crazy thing? Like, when's his final match? The date?
Yeah, I don't know. Someone can look that up.
Because if it's not near the same time, maybe they surprise Rumble appearance for like his one WWE match.
It would be something to see that. Just come out, blow mist at Brock Lesnar or something like that, and then somebody gingerly dumps him over the top rope.
Yeah, that would be.
Let's see. Great Muta's final bye-bye, January 22nd.
Okay.
So when's the Rumble?
A week after.
Yeah.
28th.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
28.
be out of the realm of possibilities.
Reasonable.
Reasonable.
I
Could
mean,
happen.
it could happen. He could just a one-time thing, the Rumble.
Why not?
Why not?
not?
You know?
And then
People start-
go into the Hall of Fame. Because I really think that's going to be the exchange for Nakamura going over there. It's like, okay, then we'll put you in the Hall of Fame. Because they got a lot of Muta footage with WCW.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
Now
was
the
big
question
breakout.
is, if Muta goes in, who do you
Who
have
inducts him? The guy to do it would be Sting, but
They
Yeah.
could maybe do
I mean,
kind of
they
deal
could.
there.
They could make it a deal.
They could
Yeah,
make
they
a deal,
could.
and then they'd
I
have to exchange for
mean-
something else.
done before.
Christian,
Who
else?
11 years
Who-
ago, TNA and Flair for the Horsemen.
Right, yeah. And
Uh,
Jericho
else has-
doing the Broken Skull
Broken Skull.
sessions.
mhm.
And he and Brian showing
Who
up for
else?
the 20
Mhm.
years of Cena doing cameos. I
Mm,
mean,
who
yeah,
else
it's
could
not out of
induct
the realm of
Muta?
possibility.
Vampira. ICP!
Oh, God.
The guy to do it is dead. So,
Harry Hart. Yeah.
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 Mhm. Yep. That would have been good. Oh.
How about the Funker?
Possibly. There's a lot of history there.
Yeah.
But Terry, goddamn, I don't even know how much he's moving around these
I
days.
don't know either.
Yeah, I don't know. Nakamura, possibly.
I mean, it would be kind of weird.
Yes, I mean the English would be, I know, very
Yeah.
broken.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
the
mean-
entire, maybe all the Japanese WWE guys in the roster all together. Like, if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't be in the business.
I mean,
'Cause-
yeah,
Why
of
would-
course, we know that Gary Hart would have been the best choice, but the second
Mhm.
best choice is Sting.
Yeah.
But that would be if WWE and AEW can work out a deal, which I honestly could see happen.
Yeah,
Done it
they
before,
can. I
They'll
mean,
do it again.
It'd be fun. They'd be fun to think about.
Because after all, Muta showed up on AEW last fall, and the last image you saw was him and Sting hugging
True.
when Muta saved Sting from the House of Black.
Yeah.
Same time as Julia Hart taking that nasty table botch. Ugh.
mhm.
So, yeah. But, back to AEW a little bit. I guess we're going to be getting an MJF Bryan 60-minute match.
That's going to be interesting at Revolution.
That
Wow.
should be a barn
That-
burner.
And they're actually building up towards a pay-per-view world title match instead of giving away on free TV.
Amazing.
What a
Yeah.
concept.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that should actually really be good.
It should, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's Bryan, and then MJF is way better in the ring than a lot of people just say, oh, he's a talker. He's a good pro wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Good on the ring, good on the mic. What more can you want from a guy like that?
Total
Mhm.
package.
Total package.
It's like he's gonna retain.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Yeah.
how is he going to retain?
Broadway.
Is he gonna retain at 59-59?
Yes lock, LaBelle lock, 59-59. He's got him in there, and then 60 minutes, ding, ding, ding. He did not give up.
Yeah.
Maybe
As
probably
long as
be
they
the way
don't
it
do
goes.
it. No, fuck no. Brian's already had 2 draws in AEW, 60 minutes.
Do another one.
Yeah, we're gonna use a pay-per-view to set up TV.
TNA. Look what you're dealing with here. What they
Yeah,
do that,
look at the company we're talking about here.
and also look at the fan base we're talking about. Would that fan base accept that?
Yeah.
Yes, they would. Honestly, yes, they would. Because the match itself, don't just think about getting to the finish, it's the whole trip to get there. There will be a lot of that. And that fucking audience will love it, and they probably won't care at the end of it if it does so 60-minute draw.
I mean, they could.
And then Gorilla Monsoon comes out from the dead and says 5 more minutes.
It goes 0-0.
Oh, not an Iron Man match. Not an Iron Man match. No. No,
Is it an Iron Man match?
I don't
No,
think
It is a-
It's just a 60.
I thought it is 60 minutes.
it's 60
60
minutes,
minute
but it's
time
not an Iron
match.
Man match, is it?
No,
I mean, I'm pretty.
It's
I mean,
it's not.
then
It's
And
just
we're-
a
if they're
60-minute
if they're
time limit.
pushing, if this is a one-on-one match for the title and they're plugging it's a 60-minute time limit match, guess what's going to happen?
They're gonna go all 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was a man match.
Do it on points.
So what else has happened the past couple of days?
Last night, SmackDown, Kevin Owens, Royal Rumble.
Yep, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns. All the rumors, not all the rumors, but many of the rumors saying that possibly Roman's going to drop one of the belts ahead of WrestleMania.
That's always...
How are they going to do that? I mean, if I know it's just a rumor, but let's run with this.
Well,
How do you do
before
that?
we get to that, Bryan MJF is an Iron Man match.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I still say go 60 minutes through and then sudden death, first fall, and MJF's ring, whatever, beats him for it.
Yeah.
But now, Roman dropping one of the belts beforehand. How?
How? Yeah.
How?
Make it make sense.
Yeah, exactly. I can't think,
and
something.
I'm
like
sorry. I'm sorry. The people that want it to be two belts again, it's the generation of people that's all they know.
that. Right.
yeah.
So you're basically saying you don't want the Intercontinental and US belts meaning anything again.
Yeah, maybe
Exactly.
timing, yeah.
And I've
So-
talked about this with like my racing friends who are wrestling fans on TeamSpeak, and it's like they want to try and say that having 2 world titles is what's needed. I keep backing it up, and I know James and we have said this so many times in the past. It feels like we're beating a dead horse, but I'm say it again for the millionth time. The people out there that say that having 1 world title doesn't work with a brand split. March to August 2002. Explain that. Jesus Christ.
These aren't participation trophies. Not everyone is meant to be a world champion. Just because you grew up in an era where there was 2 world titles doesn't... because with 2 world titles, how much does that mean for guys like Kofi Kingston and Big E and Jack Swagger and all the other guys? Jinder...
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but having 2 world titles really fucking meant a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so it's. I think we can put the rumors to bed. Of that doesn't make any sense. Nobody can think of an idea how to do it. It just it's not.
But
gonna
the
work.
networks want it that way. Fuck the networks.
No,
They don't know how wrestling works.
that's not their job to worry about that stuff. They're worried about ratings, and they think the championships are going to be the things that bring the ratings when it's not.
No.
Guess what? Belts are not crutches.
No.
Because the more belts you have, yes, belts are props. We can all agree on that.
All that,
But they're the
yeah.
most important prop.
Business is a work, folks. But now let's look at the logistics of this match. We've already seen it before
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Falls Count
It's the
Anywhere.
Third time
Is it
at
third
a
time?
Royal
Third
Rumble.
time at a
because
Rumble,
they,
2017.
Because the last time they were in San Antonio when Jericho was in the shark cage.
Mhm.
Yep.
Thank you. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
So, is this the time to drop it? And is KO the right guy? Let's just put it out there.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think it's the right... I mean, no disrespect to Kevin Owens.
Exactly.
Original world champion. Yes, but
Yeah,
it's not
he'll get
time.
the belt eventually, but not
It's not the
now.
time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
Especially
time yet. I
when
mean,
you got so many storylines going with a Roman.
And then the whole thing with Sami
But now, wait a
Zayn.
minute.
then-
But could you make an argument or a case for Owens winning it for a short period and then dropping it?
If it's if the only way I see that is if Sammy won the Rumble and beat KO. That's the only way.
What I mean is have that moment of Roman finally losing it, and then a couple of weeks later you get the rematch and Reigns wins it back
If you
in
do
a cheap
that,
fashion.
if
My
you do,
book, it would taint Roman's.
it
run.
would taint Roman's
Yeah.
run, and also we've seen it so many times. It's like, why give it to KO just to give it back to Roman?
Plus the
Especially
fact
in the end
that-
game, if Cody wins the Rumble, you will want him to beat Roman when Roman's had the reign intact.
Yeah, and I know we're going off topic, but also with Rollins eventually being hurt again, same
Right.
injury that kind of took him off a
He's
year in WrestleMania.
AJ's out. So yeah, they got two of their big thoroughbreds gone right now.
Yeah, so
They're
you
not
know,
gonna be ready for
a lot of changing things are happening with the Rumble. I mean, maybe Rollins Cody was supposed to be the main event one of WrestleMania, but with Rollins being hurt,
Then it had
again,
to be Cody Roman.
we still don't know the thing about The Rock.
Rock's not going to be in.
No.
Rock is not going to be in.
Mhm.
Because you would have already seen him, or you would have already heard about him.
Possibly some kind of thing like that. But going back to the match itself with Roman and KO, it seems like don't see Roman dropping the belt to KO.
I don't
But there
see it
has to
either.
be something more with Sammy and KO and Roman that's going to happen in this match. That's going to be the big focus of it, just like the War Games match.
Yeah.
Didn't matter about the fucking, the order and all that shit. It was the story being told here. So the story is what's going to carry this match. Because like you guys just said, I forgot we've seen it. This is the third time. So what's different now? Now we have this frickin' story that we can build on more. And that is more exciting to the talent, to the producers, to everybody behind the scenes than just the fact, oh, it's another title match. Now they got something they can really work with. So what's going to come out of it storyline-wise, that's what I'm more interested in. I don't give a shit who fucking wins, because I pretty much think it's going to be Roman. But it's like,
Yeah.
what are we going to do? What's going to happen is KO. When KO says on SmackDown, Sammy, you call me when you get your balls out of Roman's pants or his pocket there. Like, okay. That's a subtle, like, KO still cares about Sammy. How's that going to play up? Because now Roman's accused Sammy, you want to be me? Huh? First time Roman, I think, has raised his voice to him.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
You could get one of those false finishes where Sammy accidentally hits Roman stunner.
yep.
And then while the referee is out, sort of thing. And it's like, if the referee was 2, it'd been a 1, 2, 3. But
Right.
he eventually gets up, it's 1, 2, and then at 2.9.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kicks out. KO goes over the referee, tries to wake him up. He starts arguing with Sammy. Turn around, spear. 1, 2, 3.
And then Roman gives Sammy the death stare.
Uh-huh.
And then Sammy wins the Rumble. And then we
God.
get the ball rolling.
Yes.
Yeah, then we get the thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
moment.
Thumb in the throat.
Oh, God.
And then Sammy cashes it in at the Chamber. You get Cody winning the Chamber. And then
Then
you get
to
Cody
Sami and
Roman at
KO
Mania.
versus Usos, and then Cody
That
Roman.
is why someone had asked, I forgot what Twitch stream I was watching, but someone had asked, what are you looking forward to the most in 2023? And one of the first things that came to my mind, the first WrestleMania under the Triple H regime. The one coming up this year. I am very excited to
There's
see.
a lot of big shit happening.
Because
Yeah.
by that time WrestleMania comes up, if Roman's still champion, he'll be like, what, 1,000 days?
He'll be
Close to that?
950. He'll be like 950.
Yeah, he's 850 now, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, he's close to 1,000 days.
God.
He's never gonna beat Bruno. We know that.
No one's gonna beat Bruno.
No one's ever gonna beat Bruno.
Not
No one's
even
gonna beat
Backlund.
the modern record is Hogan, and nobody's gonna beat Hogan.
Yeah,
4 years.
probably not. Yeah, so yeah, so the WrestleMania this year I'm really excited for it. I think it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. But oh man. I mean, like I said,
That's it
Rumble
again.
season.
Again, it's the interesting thing now with Triple H in charge. You never know what's gonna happen now.
Mhm.
For
Like
all
how
we
we
know-
were talking,
that
like we
good.
were talking about with War Games. We thought we had that telegraphed to a T. Sammy cost Bloodline the match. Then they turn on Sammy leading up to Rumble and so on. But no, they throw a curveball to keep telling stories.
And that's where it's like, just what? Fuck trying to predict this shit. Just sit back
Just
and watch
take,
it.
just
Bro,
take,
back
take
and
us
forth.
on a
Bro,
ride.
bro,
Take us
you
on
know.
a ride.
Somebody we don't expecting wins the Rumble.
Now, let's bring this up now too, because we alluded to it earlier on. FTR.
hmm
Surprise return to WrestleMania to challenge the Usos.
Or either
I
that.
think afterwards.
I'd say afterwards, like say if Sammy and
Well,
KO beat the Usos, then the next night, Sammy and KO talk, and then the FTR shows up, get the ball rolling, the build to a match at SummerSlam between the two.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because even though Sammy and KO are probably going to reunite, I think at some point this year, KO's going to turn on Sammy again.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because
And
why
then
wouldn't he?
and then you set up that feud that will never end.
Fight forever.
That's right. Team fight forever.
Or hear me out.
And it'll set up Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania 40.
Oh,
The end of their feud,
The end of an
quote
era.
unquote.
The end of an era.
Didn't they say they wanted a Hell in a Cell somewhere this time for Edge and Balor? That's what I was reading somewhere.
that could be a possibility for Mania.
But I read the rumor about it being at the Rumble, but that would be fucking stupid because that would be gimmicking a gimmick.
Yeah, and you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
For WrestleMania, I wouldn't mind seeing Hell in a Cell.
Because here's a match because the other night I was talking with my friend Seth of like, how could we book a card for Mania despite we're just now getting into Rumble time? I remembered we will probably get a Rhea Ripley Beth Phoenix match because of what happened at Extreme Rules.
Well, I've also been seeing that Rhea might be in the title picture.
Yeah, there's
that Rhea Beth thing may be off the table.
I mean, Rhea winning the Rumble, I wouldn't mind.
Because that whole Rhea Beth thing, that was started, shit's changed.
Yeah, a lot of stuff has changed since then. So, because that was when did the Extreme Rules, was that the I Quit match?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that was supposed to be like something that would lead to, because Beth was the victim in that one that led to Edge quitting. They have to resolve that storyline somewhere.
They do.
So it will happen. But whether it's going to be at Mania or not,
I mean,
it would be.
it's
it seems like
for Mania.
Would a Mania Edge Beth versus Rhea Finn match really be that big?
Or right? No.
It would be bigger to do Beth versus Rhea.
Yeah, that's like a bigger WrestleMania. Like it's a gimmick in and of itself. There's no title necessary. Because pretty much now you got Charlotte's got the SmackDown strap. That was another big thing. SmackDown Charlotte.
Thank God. Thank God.
How do you turn Charlotte babyface? You put her in the ring with the woman everyone else hates right now.
See, that's the thing. It's like Charlotte is so hated, but just wait. She's been gone a while, and there's going to be someone you hate even more.
How can I miss you if you don't go away?
And Ronda has been horrible this run. Oh my God. I don't give a shit if Charlotte's champion or not, because Ronda's worse.
Mm-hmm.
So the people that want to
very disappointed about something.
The people that want to cry about it, just keep crying, Marks.
Yeah.
Charlotte's the biggest star in the division.
Levi is very occupied right now by something.
I was gonna say something, a crazy thought that then again I never thought was gonna happen. Kind of plus to the Rumble itself. What if the winner of the Rumble doesn't challenge Roman or as the world champion? Challenges for the IC title.
No.
Then
No. That would be horrible. Because you have an opportunity to challenge the world champion at WrestleMania. Why would you challenge the Intercontinental Champion?
This isn't Austin Theory Money in the Bank where it made sense.
Right, yeah.
So there you go.
Just a crazy thought. It was a crazy thought.
Key thing on crazy.
It's an outside the box thought. You throw it out there because it can lead to something else.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
but
who knew that we were going to see?
So, yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say real quick about with Charlotte and Ronda. I will defend Ronda to the death. It's not her fault that they book her so badly. With not giving her anything
she has
to work
unimproved.
Well, I mean, the thing
you look at her rookie year. You look at that rookie year, and then you look at her once she came back. Somehow she got worse. Her mic skills got worse. Her in-ring got worse.
I don't think her in-rings got worse. It's her opponents booking-wise were not.
That doesn't matter. If you're good enough, you can bring up a bad opponent. Look at so many people over the years that are good.
I don't know.
If you're good enough, it don't matter.
It's just I look at the Shotzi feud as the principal example. It's like there was no heat. If you had heat, it could have been good. But since there was no heat, who gave a shit? It's not Ronda's fault that
You
run
make
was so
it work.
bad. It was because
if you are
they did
handed
not-
shit, you make it the best you can.
Because
And it's like, I don't care. Let's just.
It's based upon what kind of champion you are. Roman is a champion that's a heel that can elevate the babyface and bring him higher. And then it's up to the office and that talent to run with that. Ronda can't do that. She does not know how to elevate a babyface.
Because she still hasn't had enough time to
she's
really.
She's the heel champion. She's the heel champion that just needs to be a heel, but she needs stronger, established talent to work with to do that.
And that was the problem.
That. They don't have that. That's the problem.
And I'll tell you the big reason why. Because the SmackDown women's division needs help. And the best
they
way
need
to help
to unify those belts.
Exactly. I was just about
to
say that.
Yeah.
Makes total sense to do now with Bianca and Charlotte, the dream match that everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
Unify the titles, WrestleMania, make it happen.
Yeah.
So have either Bianca or Charlotte win the Rumble?
No, I'm saying because haven't we seen the winner of the Rumble challenge for other women's championships too?
True.
So have Rhea challenge.
So what if an NXT entrant won the Rumble to challenge Roxanne for her title, and then we start setting up Bianca and Charlotte? They start gabbing at each other on their separate shows.
I mean, that's not. I mean,
God.
they
So
did do that.
who would be the NXT talent?
That's the question.
That's the
Nikita?
The
question.
Lions.
Oh,
Nikita?
yes,
Why not?
baby.
Why not?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or Cora?
Or Cora Jade.
Cora.
Or
Yeah.
Cora.
You
There
know.
you go.
I mean, that's if Roxanne's still champion by WrestleMania.
Or what nobody's talking about, the return of Mandy. Wouldn't that just...
That would be.
If she was,
That will
if she
be-
was a surprise entrant in the Rumble,
She's
and
winning
then
it.
she wins,
Yeah.
and then she makes the announcement, no. NXT is mine. I run this place, and the only thing that's missing is my title. Roxanne, or whoever's the champion, you and me. We're going to have it done.
There you go. There you go.
Again, this is all speculation, folks. We're not predicting the future here. This is just throwing out ideas.
Yeah.
But that would
Would
be something
you
that would totally
would you
make sense.
apply that to the NXT Championship too?
I mean, for the men's, you mean? Or for
Yeah, for the men's.
You could, but isn't necessary storyline wise.
No.
This everything
No.
here, everything I'm
Yeah.
talking about is all within the
Yeah.
parameters of the storyline. So we get to Bianca and Charlotte, so we don't have to have a winner do that.
True.
You know.
Mhm.
So what if
With the
an
men, you don't have a situation like that.
Mhm. Right, exactly.
Mhm.
Okay, here's another completely out of nowhere idea. What if the winner of the women's Rumble match is not under contract? Mickey James. What happens then?
Monkey
What do you
wrench
do
in
with
the
that?
works.
I'm just throwing a name out there. What if what if it was Tessa Blanchard?
Oh God,
You're
no!
laughing. I
You
know, but
want
let's just throw a name out there.
you
Hold on, time out. Just throwing a name out there, okay? Just throwing an idea out there. I mean, I know. We know, but a name like that.
Can
What
you imagine? Mickey James, can you imagine? Not under contract, wins the Rumble, but challenges for the TNA title?
It doesn't.
Well, she's already challenging for it at their
She's in
next
the,
big
brass
event.
roundup thing
True.
right now.
Or can you
But-
imagine somebody else?
in the context of WWE, what do you do with that? What
Now,
happens at that
what
point?
What about you want to talk about non-contract? What if Mercedes Sasha comes back at number 30?
Oh God.
That's where I was going with this. This is exactly what my
God.
wife and I were talking about earlier today. I wanted to bring this up. So what if somebody wasn't under contract, like Mickey, and then and not Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné shows up. What do you do then?
I don't know. I don't know.
Now, see, if Sasha doesn't sign with AEW or whatever, I could totally see her being in the Rumble. as kind of that forbidden door entrant.
That whole thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder who's gonna be the forbidden door entry for the man.
Or well,
If
for the
there is
men,
one.
well, a lot of speculation. Maybe Jay White. He dropped the IWGP title.
He did. So
True.
probably,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much impact it would have, but
No pun intended.
yes, thank you. Mickey's husband.
Aldis is a free agent. He
Yeah.
may be signing with WWE.
You don't
I
know.
mean, maybe.
But see, the last time most people saw him, he was Magnus
Magnus.
killing the
Yeah,
ratings
yeah.
on TNA.
So,
Mhm.
Mm,
I mean, what if one of the guys from FDR at the Rumble?
And they're still under contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
I mean-
throwing out names. Oh, can you imagine Jericho? Just for the hell of it?
oh God, if Punk.
don't nobody say Punk.
No,
Nobody
no.
even think about
What
Punk.
if,
Look,
what
look.
if Vince McMahon enters?
If I swear to God,
No, wait a minute. Whoa. Since it's San Antonio, could you imagine Shawn Michaels
Gone?
entering at like number 2 or 3?
Uh-huh.
The roof would blow off the Alamo Dome.
and he would get eliminated
Or-
immediately.
Yeah. If Sean enters the Rumble, I'm gonna fucking hear it all the way through my house.
Or what if you hear the glass shatters and
Stone
Austin?
Cold. You could do that to build up to Austin's opponent for Mania.
Austin Roman.
No.
Don't turn it down right away. Let it settle first.
Or how about you at some point during the Rumble, you hear Cena's music, and then you hear Austin's music,
Stare down.
and then if you smell,
Oh God.
Oh god.
could you imagine?
The
Boom,
pops.
boom, boom.
Wow.
Cena,
Cena?
Austin,
10,
Rock.
20, and 30.
I do see Cena at the Rumble.
Yeah, I
That's
could
a
see it.
possibility.
Cena at 10, Austin at 20, Rock at 30.
Oh
The
god.
pops would be at
Ginormous.
Sean at 1.
And Sean
10.
at 1. Mhm.
Then
Sean
again,
at 1, Austin at 10.
Actually, no. Sean at 3. Sean at 3. Give him a 1 and 2 kind of numbers, and then elimination, and then kind of like what happened with Roman
and AJ.
and
2016.
AJ. Exactly, because he dumped out Miro,
Bruce.
yeah. Rusev.
so Rusev. So it was like Roman, Rusev, and then it was AJ. So if you had, Miz, and then like, I don't know, Dexter or whatever,
Yeah.
and then Dexter gets flying out there, and then Sean's music hits, and then you get Miz and Sean doing some shit and back and forth, da-da-da-da-da. Kofi's got to do his spot to redeem himself from last year. We know that.
Yeah.
Now here's an even crazier one.
Hmm.
Woo!
God, no. Absolutely not.
Here's
I don't
a
even wanna
here-
think about
okay.
it.
You hear Flair's music at 27 or some shit.
No, hear me out. Hear me out. Like what you said, Scott. Cena at 10, Austin at 20, 29, Undertaker, 30, Rock.
We're just throwing all the old guys in
We're
there.
just going
Or
crazy
how
now.
about 28 Brock Lesnar, 29 Taker, 30 Rock.
26 Batista.
25 Goldberg.
So
Me, but this is gonna be in the Hall of Fame
Cody's
this
going to
year.
eliminate all these guys. Sammy's got
beat everyone.
He's
Yes.
gonna beat everyone.
Cody's
Cody with the
eliminating all
Cody
the
with the
legends.
Cody with the Infinity Gauntlet just snap the finger.
And they all are eliminated.
I mean, in a
Now, wait a
hypothetical world, that would
Speaking
be
of Cody, we talk about a Forbidden Door entrant. What about Dustin?
Dustin.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Dustin has talked about this year's his last year.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah,
can you imagine Dustin and Cody, the final two at the Rumble?
that would be something.
In
Brother-
Texas.
Cool. They're in
Yeah.
Texas.
I mean,
The home of
Yeah.
the American dream.
That's the rules, baby. And Dustin's mom just passed away.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same mom as Cody, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
It's a different mom. but they're actually half brothers, but still.
Speaking about, so it's just some ridiculous Forbidden Door entrance or surprise legends. We talked about Bob Backlund earlier. Why not bring Bob Backlund?
It's still going. The motherfucker's still going.
And he's not an official entrant. He just walks out.
He just walks out, runs out, and
Then again, hear me out. WWE recently signed one of the half of the AAA Tag Team
Dragon
champions.
Lee.
He is still under contract as a AAA Tag Team champion.
Despite
Maybe at the
signing
Rumble?
with WWE.
But they signed him with NXT, which is funny. Yeah. It's like, FTR drops the belt to guys, and one of them signing with WWE.
Yeah, go figure.
Coincidence? I think not. I'm just trying to think. Being in San Antonio, they could bring a AAA guy. They could.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah, the last time they did that, nobody cared.
That's true. Yeah,
but we're in a different day and age.
Fucking silence.
Or I doubt it would happen. But if we're just throwing stupid ideas out there, Andrade comes back.
He's rumored to be leaving. Yeah. So is Miro.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Rusev Futria, Rusev Machka,
Rusev Day.
Which means Lana returns in the women's Rumble.
And wins it. We don't eliminate anybody.
Yes.
I would chop my dick off if that happened.
Do you promise? Do you promise?
On video, on camera.
Do you promise?
Choppy, oh pee-pee.
Get a katana out here.
No.
Oh, that's confirmation. That's freaking word.
No.
Clip that, people. He promised to do it.
Oh, God. He has it.
He actually has a katana.
Mr. Yamaguchi-san.
Choppy, pee-pee. No.
So Levi, you promise if Lana comes back and wins the Rumble, you will chop your dick off.
I will only say yes because it ain't happening. So there you go.
Okay.
Oh,
what if it does happen?
It's not happening. It ain't happening.
Remember,
so
Triple H is in charge of the creative.
What I said is probably more likely going to happen. And that's Lana shows up and then Nia Jax comes back to put her through another table.
and then yell, "My hole!"
Yeah, she hurts her hole when she's eliminated.
But with Rusev, I see it in English. Rusev Day.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
There we go. We need it.
Oh God.
There you go.
Oh Jesus! You just made me think
one
of something.
guy who never got to have a WWE match comes back in the Rumble. Nigel McGuinness.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Come on.
That'd be cool just for the moment.
Yeah.
I just completely forgot about this. Alberto Del Rio.
No.
He lives in San Antonio.
No.
He lives
He's
in San
too
Antonio.
toxic.
Nobody wants him around.
Now, wait a minute. For Rumble, we're talking returns, Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because
this coming Monday's his
game.
Yeah, this coming Monday's his final college assignment.
How about no, it's still her. I was gonna say Logan Paul, but he's still injured.
Yeah, he's gonna be out
Corey
for a
Graves.
While. Yeah,
Corey Graves.
He's clear.
Which could set up WrestleMania. Pat McAfee and Corey Graves.
I mean, Corey's been cleared, so why not?
Or wait a minute, what about Wade Barrett?
Wade Barrett, totally too.
Yeah,
Barrett versus McAfee for that spot.
Incidentally, plug time. James just released on his channel a whole retrospective of primetime wrestling. Watch it. It is fantastic. I loved it. He asked the question at the end of the video, who would you want to see host primetime wrestling now? And my answer to you, sir, is Pat McAfee and Corey Graves.
that would work.
Those two.
I'd love to see
those two.
See, McAfee would be perfect for a show like that.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of Texas guys in San Antonio. JBL.
Maggle.
Where's Baron Corbin? Is he hurt? Or has he been on TV? I've not heard anything about him lately.
No.
He's just been off TV.
Just been off TV? Okay.
For Texas guys,
JBL shows up and he trips again.
Booker T.
Booker, yeah.
Booker, probably.
Oh god, that just made me remember. If JBL shows up and he trips on his way to the ring again, Trip Bradshaw's coming back.
Yes.
Oh god.
Oh, Bo Dallas. Well, not Texan, but you know what I mean.
I know.
But anyways, since you brought up Aiden English, could you imagine we got a segment where Aiden English sings on top of Rick Boogs playing guitar?
Oh.
That would be brilliant.
Symphonic metal at its finest.
He's still recovering.
Still recovering? Okay.
Which, that could be a surprise entrance.
That could be.
You never know.
Come out and just start shredding and then into the ring. And if Chad Gable in the ring, he
Elias at number 1 playing his guitar, and then Rick Boogs at number 2 playing his guitar.
Yes.
There you go.
And then next thing you know, we get Jeff Jarrett playing his guitar.
Uh-huh.
And then we get number 4.
The Last Outlaw.
I know Xavier Woods plays bass. We got a band here.
And then Austin comes out playing his guitar. And then Kurt Angle comes out with a little cowboy hat playing a guitar.
Jimmy Francorn, I don't care. Jimmy Francorn, I don't care.
Got on the big gold. And then the Honky Tonk Man comes out playing guitar.
God.
Don't forget Man Mountain Rock, Van Hammer, JT Southern.
Everybody with guitars.
Every guitar gimmick ever comes out to the ring.
And then the Blade from AEW shows up.
Yeah.
Because people forget he played guitar for the band Every Time I Die. Good band, by the way. Southern metalcore.
And then who's going to be the one to end it?
Jericho singing.
Jericho singing.
Yep.
I mean, you never know. I mean, Jericho, is he still Ring of Honor champion?
No, he lost it back to Claudio.
Okay. Claudio.
Can you imagine Claudio at the Rumble?
If only.
Only.
But anyways, I think we've gone on this tangent long enough.
Everybody with guitars showing up at the Rumble.
It's Rumble season, people. That's what we love this time of the year.
And they just fight with guitars.
No. Don't hurt the guitars. Don't hurt them.
Think about the guitars, damn it. And I think
you know how much that would hurt me and Scott as guitar players.
And then Vince Russo comes out with a guitar on a pole.
Oh no.
And then Jim Cornette with his tennis racket just starts beating people up. And Scott's screen went black.
We'd like to thank you for joining us this week of the Shadow Kvlt podcast. Do not listen to anything James from We Are Pro Wrestling just had to say. We do not acknowledge the existence of Vince Russo. Vince Russo has nothing to do with this podcast. If you mention Vince Russo, we will never want to speak to you again. Thank you very much. Good night.
Shit stain. That's what I meant to say.
That's better.
So since we've gone on that tangent, it's time. I think it's a good place to.
And then Scarlett shows her boobs in the women's Rumble.
Scarlett wrestled on SmackDown. Scarlett got to wrestle for the first time.
I gotta
on
watch
WWE
that.
programming.
And supposedly there was a nip slip. So Levi
wears
supposedly, but
she wears tape.
Yes.
But anyways, I think it's a good place to wrap up. But before we do plugs and such, I actually have a tentative schedule of what we could do after WrestleMania through June. So first half of the year.
one of them is guaranteed for the anniversary. We're doing Mystery Science Theater 3000 of Heroes of Wrestling.
Yes, live commentating, people. We're all gonna commentate.
We're gonna record it. We're gonna record it ahead of time.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you get to hear my lovely Spanish commentating. Well, Levi's like, what?
It's gonna be Mystery
The
Science.
whole time, I'm just gonna be like, what?
You have to participate. But we're going to be Mystery Science Theater 3000. It's going to be great.
And I'll be Tom Servo.
It's the 90s. Smoke a lot of coke and vote for Bill Clinton.
I asked it before.
Zach, if we don't have Herb Abrams' ghost on that show, we're not doing things right.
Abrams goes?
I ask myself every day, and I will ask it, why do you guys insist on torturing me?
Because it's an
Again.
anniversary tradition at
Again.
this point. So what is your 10th?
So anyway, let's line up the rest of this month. Let's do that first.
Oh God.
Okay. If I can get any shred of sanity back, which is none.
You
Russian sickle.
You lost that years ago. You were saying when I met you, and you're still saying now.
Sane or insane?
Insane
Clarify. You gotta clarify here.
Clock strikes midnight and he misses the field goal.
Oh God! Don't bring up missing field goals. Anyways,
We need a lot of carrots and change the color of our duty.
so
Anyway,
tentative
schedule.
Tentative schedule. So of
Evil
course, next week we're going to be here to talk top 10 Raw matches of all time. Week after that, we're going to be doing Royal Rumble 2003, and then ending January's the top 10 Raw moments of all time. February, it's going to be kind of all over the place. We're doing Super Brawl 8. Week after that, top 10 authority figures in wrestling history. Week after that, No Way Out 98, and ending
which
February.
actually, we're going to have to change that one. No Way Out. We'll figure something out.
What's the deal here?
Because I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to be covering No Way Out.
Arg.
Mm-hmm.
I'll think of something.
We'll figure something out.
We'll figure it out.
But anyways, and then concluding February will be Ron Simmons' WCW run.
Damn.
March is all WrestleManias. We're talking throughout March. Manias 1, 9, 19, and 24. April, we got 5 episodes. April 1st, we'll be doing it on the afternoon, since that'll be night 1 of WrestleMania. In the afternoon, because it's April Fool's Day, top 10 funniest people in wrestling history. Then the week after that, there's going to be a long stretch where I'd say we don't do a WWE review, try to give some more shine to other companies. So in April, TNA Lockdown 2008, 15th anniversary of that show, of Joe Kurt for the title, MMA oriented. And then I kind of wanted to start a couple of new things for the show going forward. Like periodically, we can do a debate. And the first debate I've come up with is something I've debated in my mind about wrestling, especially since 2017. A debate about part-timers in pro wrestling. The pros, the cons, the whole 9 yards. And then the week after that, Spring Stampede 98 for WCW. And then a very challenging one. We haven't done one of these. I'm not counting Heroes of Wrestling. I'm not counting that because that show should not count for anything. But a rebooking. And I did this rebooking 5 years ago. I kind of want to redo it and revamp it. Rebooking Roman Reigns from post-Shield breakup to WrestleMania 32. Because, yeah, lots of mistakes were made during that time frame for Roman. And I think it's up to us to right those wrongs. May, of course, the Heroes of Wrestling commentary to 3-year anniversary. Please kill me. Anyways. The guillotine.
Choppy, pee.
Choppy, neck. The week after that.
Te van a cortar el pito, güey.
Week after that, ECW WrestlePalooza 98. The week after that, top 10 best gimmick matches in wrestling history. And then ending May with our second debate. All about ECW. Was it good? Was it bad for wrestling? Or somewhere in the middle?
Now, for top 10 gimmick matches, define what that means.
Like, let's say example, Royal Rumble match, Hell in a Cell, Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
So there you go. And then for June, mostly King of the Ring, so we'll be back to WWE reviews for this. We're going to talk King of the Ring 93. Following that, top 10 worst gimmick matches in wrestling history. Week after that, King of the Ring 98. And concluding June with Goldberg's WWE run.
Which one?
The first one.
Okay.
From
Voice.
Night After Mania 19 through Mania 20. And I think that sounds like a damn good schedule for the first half of the year. We'll talk about the second half once we get towards the end of June. So, there you go. But anyways, before we go, it is plug time, and we'll start with Ricardo Richard Ricky.
Too many hours, people. Trust me. You can find me at my YouTube channel, Horror Master. I know I haven't really been uploading as much. I'm still trying to find ideas. I'm still working on my Death discography. I still need to get Leprosy on CD. I'm almost there getting the Trust people.
I thought you already had Leprosy on CD.
I mean, not Leprosy. Symbolic. Symbolic. I always confuse Symbolic with Leprosy. Symbolic. Symbolic, motherfucker. Symbolic, motherfucker. Symbolic, motherfucker. You can follow me on my dead Twitter at Homemaster18, which I haven't really been using that much for obvious reasons. You can follow me on my Instagram at Arcaraman and you can follow me on my new Instagram at RCD's Collections, where I upload mostly my entire CD collection and all that, because why the fuck not? And you can catch me doing both the Shadow Kvlt and the Orphan Podcast on Levi's channel.
Scott?
You can find me on my YouTube channel. It's Mr. Scott doing reaction videos. I'm happy to announce I hit the 3,000 sub mark. I wanted to do it by the end of last year. It happened on New Year's Day, so I'm still counting that as a win.
Close enough.
Close enough, exactly. So yes, I got the 3,000. Thank everybody out there that hit the sub button on there. Appreciate that. More reactions coming up on there this year, of course. Maybe some other things as well. You find me on Twitch, jamming on Twitch every single Thursday night, and you'll be seeing me on Twitch more often, doing more jams, writing songs on there too. One of my goals is to actually record a song by the end of this year. If not, at least one, maybe a couple more. We shall see. So having fun on Twitch there. Please stop on in sometime. And also find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that fun stuff under It's Mr. Scott. And the NecroCastCon still on a bit of a hiatus right now. We're revamping our format, so hopefully that should be back soon. And I think that's it.
James?
You can find me on my YouTube at We Are Pro Wrestling, where, as Scott pointed out, I did a episode on primetime wrestling that's up this coming week. I'm going to be doing a thing about greatest Raw matches, but it's not going to be a top 10 or anything. I'm going to go through every year in Raw history and pick one match. So 30 matches in total. That thing is going to be near an hour long, and some years are going to be harder than others. Because holy crap.
So get your popcorn, people. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
I mean, some of the years were easy. But when you get to, like, 2014, 15, 2020, is a little difficult. But that's what I got going. And then for the rest of the month, Royal Rumble 1995 and Royal Rumble 1998. So subscribe to me on my YouTube, follow me on Twitter at WAPW_wrestling, and follow me on my Instagram at WeAreProWrestling_YT.
And finally, subscribe to me on YouTube if you haven't already, ThrashManiac99. As far as what I've done recently, kind of took a little bit of a break because after doing the top 50 albums of 2023 and 12 Days of Metal videos, I was like, give myself a break. So I did recently, actually yesterday, my response to the Metal Tag 2023 started by the Rock Scout, where I answered 20 questions. The thread that started back in 2021, so figured why not. As far as anything coming up, well, next weekend, album reviews are coming back, starting off with the new Obituary album coming out next weekend. I still need to listen to the singles off of it, I haven't yet.
They're really good, they're really good.
And of course, kickstarting the year with some big stuff coming up, and as well as some mystery videos, maybe some thread videos I might start up. I know Under the Radar will be back eventually later in the month once there's more stuff coming up. I am doing a discography ranking this month. It's not going to be Enslaved. I decide to move Enslaved to much later in the year once the new album drops in March.
Yeah, I was going to say to move it because the album's going to come out. You know, it's going to...
Yeah. So, replacing Enslaved for the month of January, I'm going to be doing Entombed. I'm going to be ranking all of Entombed and Entombed AD, since there was only 3 albums from that legal battle that happened. Because courts are so much fun. Fear Factory's been in a courtroom for 4 years, it seems, but I digress. So that's mostly what's going to be happening in January's the return of album reviews, the Entombed ranking, so on and so forth. You can follow me on Instagram at thrashmaniac_YT, which before the year ended, I reached 1,000 followers. So I got that done out of the way. What the hell is so funny?
Dude, Zach posted a thing on Twitter. I'm holding Thrash Maniac to his word on this one. It's Mr. Scott and We Are Pro Wrestling are witnesses to this. Levi makes a promise.
Yes.
I should have known you'd do something like that, Zach.
And I have the sword.
But anyways, yeah, follow me on Instagram at thrashmaniac_YT. And finally, I just got Stone Cold by Zach. Anyways. And then finally, follow and or subscribe to me on Twitch at thrashmaniac99. But anyways, we will see you next week for a brutal episode for the top 10 Raw matches. And until then, horns high, and we'll see you next time.
Actually.
Yeah, gosh.